just doing some stretches now before I get on the bike, and then I'll do 3 minutes just cycling fairly easily just to get the legs moving, and then without getting off the bike I set the settings a little bit higher to start pushing it. Right, so done some stretches and I'm now ready to ride. And if you're wondering why I'm putting a cycling fitness session into the channel, is because when you're doing lots of walking and you're carrying a heavy bag and loads of equipment, it really is important that you get a little bit fitter to be able to do that. Maybe walking for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. And obviously, if any of you have watched one of my videos I did about rheumatoid arthritis, which I've had for 20 odd years, you can see that for me, trying to be fitter and stronger would be really important to be able to do the hobby that I do, which is the walking and the filming, because it's some of the walking through woods and things and countryside can be quite tough. So here I am on my new wheel-off trainer, a Think Rider, just to get me motivated a bit more to get onto the bike. I treated myself to a wheel-off trainer, which is a lot smoother. I've tried it a couple of times with Zwift and it works really well. But this is my first session properly back. It's Sunday morning, just gone 7 o'clock, and it's time to start getting fitter again. I've got my heart rate monitor on, but the Think Rider will do the speed, cadence, and power and so on. So here we go. So I'm going to start, done the stretches, now I'm going to do my 3 minutes of just fairly easy cycling, just to get into it. So I'm just going to go into Zwift, just to make sure everything's connected. It has. I'm just going to go, and all I'm going to do is just a normal flat route around Watopia, which is one of the areas in Zwift, and just gently get into it, and I'll see how far I can go. It'd be great to do half an hour, but I'm not sure if I can do that at the moment. And one of the things I've always done is every time I started training, I've always made sure that I've started relative to my fitness and not gone too silly, too overboard too early, and done more damage to myself. So anyway, here we go. I'll catch you soon. So all these videos will be put together into one video. So this is basically week 1, session 1. I'm quite busy with football coaching as well, which is another reason I need to be fitter and stronger. My right knee especially has been playing up. So this is week 1, session 1 of hopefully a summer where I get myself back into shape and I lose a lot more weight. I'm around 110 kilos at the moment, which with rheumatoid arthritis is not good. I'm 6'4", and I think I should be more nearer, well, below 100 kilos at least. I'm not clipped into the bike. I've got flat pedals put into the clips, so I can adjust my feet, which helps my arthritis as well, and my joints. I can adjust my feet to different angles if I need to, especially when I get tired on the bike. For me, the biggest thing getting onto a bike is obviously getting back into the saddle, so to speak, because that's where it's going to be sore. Me being a little bit heavier at the moment as well. That's the biggest problem, to be fair, is how long I can stay in the saddle comfortably. So that's 3 minutes now, fairly easy. Even I'm doing a flat route, at the moment I'm doing a 2% gradient. It's just gone down to 1%, so I don't really have to change gears. It's just gone down to 0 flat now. So I'm just going to shift the gears up to make it a little bit tougher. So I'm now in on a 9-speed cassette, I'm now on the 4th gear out of 9 in the big ring, and I'm pushing out a gentle 70 watts or so. Cadence is around about 80, my heart rate's about 110, and I can feel myself, as you can hear just as I'm talking, just a tiny bit out of breath, so you can see how unfit I am. So I've been training, I'm 58, and I've been training since I was 14, so for 44 years I've been injured. I've had to come back from injuries, start training again, so I'm used to this. It's almost like there's a muscle memory there, and you do get mentally strong in terms of trying to get fit again, and you realise what your limitations are. So yeah, it's, I can feel it on my legs at the moment, and that's about right really. Best just to start gently and just make sure you've got enough load but not too much, where you're still enjoying it, and you know you can get through the session and not wake up the next morning aching everywhere. That'd be incorrect. You need to just get fitter slowly, take your time and be patient, which isn't easy all the time. And what I find is that my body will start telling me, look, you can go faster now. And that's what you have to do. You have to react to your body telling you. That's 6 minutes now, and I've done just under 1.5 miles. That's 17 miles per hour roughly, which is surprisingly good, considering I've only had a couple of goes on this to test the trainer out, and this is my first proper, what I call training session anyway. Definitely getting a little bit more out of breath as I'm. It's weird because the more cycling that you do in your session, the more you move your legs, all of a sudden you feel like you can move quicker. That's 9 minutes now. So what happens is you automatically start just putting pressure on the pedals more and more to go faster, and that's what I mean. Your body just naturally just tells you. So sometimes you just have to ease off. I mean, go with what you feel on the day. If you feel good, then go for it a little bit more. But generally, have a plan and build up gradually. Yeah, the Think Rider goes up to 20%. The wheel off trainer here goes up to 20%. I'm nowhere near that. I had a Tax Flow before that, which went up to 6%, and that was more than enough. Trust me, that was more than enough. So that's 11 minutes now, just under 2.7 miles. I've got a funny feeling 15 minutes is going to be enough. It sounds silly. So if I'm going to do 15 minutes, I'm looking to do around about 4 miles if I can. So we're at 2.8 miles, coming up to 12 minutes. So yeah, it's going to be close. That's 12.5 minutes, come up to 3 miles. So another 2.5 minutes to go, 2.5 miles to go. Sorry, 2.5 minutes to go, sorry. And I can see if I can do 1.1 miles, which isn't going to happen because even when I was fit, it took me about 3 minutes to do a mile if I was really fast. 14 minutes now, and I'm at 3.3 miles. So actually I should be able to, I'm on the road now again, so I should be able to get to 3.5 hopefully. And there's the competitive side of me, I'll start to push it harder, even though I said I wouldn't. So I start to push it harder now, trying to make that 3.5 miles in 15 minutes. So you set yourself little targets. So I've got 30 seconds to go 0.2 miles. Again, doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're on this, 20 seconds to go 0.1 miles now to make it to 3.5. That's my little target. 15 minutes and 3.5 miles, 10 seconds to go. I may just keep going until I hit the 3.5. A bit more out of breath. That's 15 minutes now. I won't be far off, and that's 3.5 miles. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the gears down a couple and then just cycle very easily as part of my cool down for 2 minutes. Just for 2 minutes. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that ride. And then that ride, and I can save it straight to Strava from Zwift, which is what it's doing now. Yeah, that was interesting. So 15 minutes is it's nice. It feels nice just to have no pressure to really push myself. So 15 minutes has turned out okay actually, and the saddle's just getting a little bit sore. And like I said, that's my biggest bugbear, is just getting back into the saddle. Being able to sit there for an hour or even 2 hours and doing a proper training session, that's tough. And anyone who's been on a bike will know that's sore. So I'm coming up to a minute now of my cool down. I'm just letting my legs just roll nice and easy. Literally just doing 20 watts. Cadence is 60. There's one every second. Heart rate's gone down to 107. I did get to 115, 120, 106 now. Heart rate monitor is just put around my chest, so like that. And they're all fairly accurate, the readings, so all very good. 1.5 minutes, 30 seconds to go, and then I'll go in and do some more stretches, a little bit deeper stretches, because obviously I'm more warmed up. "15 seconds to go, just easing off even more. No sweat or anything, it's just been fairly easy, but it's a start. Like I said, week 1, session 1, and that's the 2 minutes. There we go, week 1, session number 2. Just done my warm up. Apologies about the sun behind me. I have to change the angle of the camera. So last time I did around about 3.5 miles in 15 minutes. I feel pretty good today. So let's see how we get on today. So 3 minutes again of just easy cycling, and then we'll go from there. After the first session that you saw, I did feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit looser today, a little bit achy because it's quite cold, and my arthritis is bad in my right knee, but generally better. So hopefully, well, let's see what we can do today. I'm looking to do more than 15 minutes if it's possible. We'll see. And again, you don't really need to see the screen early on in my training sessions. It's fairly simple stats, quite low wattage, power output, cadences between sort of 65 and 80, and heart rate's around about 100, 110. So fairly easy going. Right, that's 3 minutes done. And I'm on the second cog down. I'm now going to go down 2 more cogs and put a little bit more pressure on myself. Just to push my leg a little bit more today. In fact, just as I do that, I'm on now a 2% gradient now. So that's made it even harder, so I'm going to go up a cog. Or down a cog, as I say. Down a gear. Just to ease off a little bit. So in that case, I'm managing my output, but I've still been very careful. So now I'm back on the flat. I'm going to go up a cog again. So I'm on my 4th cog down now, on the rear cog. Still in the big ring. So I'm just upping the level a little bit by using the gears on the bike just talking about the trainer itself, there's one thing I've noticed. I'm now on a -3 decline, and the trainer has really eased off quite a lot. So it's almost like trying to create a downhill ride, which is interesting. My previous on-wheel trainer, roller trainer, Tax Flow, we do the inclines but not the declines. So that's interesting. So at the moment I'm well pleased with this trainer. Retails around about £250 at Treads in the UK. And it's very smooth, very easy to use. It's quite heavy to move around, so I'm on the decking again in the garden. And it's quite heavy to move. But you get used to it, it's got a handle on it, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And that's 7.5 minutes now, that's 1.7 miles, so if I was to do 15, you multiply that by 2, you're looking at 3.4 miles, so I've speeded up. I'm hoping to do more than 15 minutes today. At the moment I feel fairly comfortable. I can feel the pressure of the saddle, because I'm driving a little bit more through the legs into the pedals. I'm forcing myself down onto the saddle more, which is always going to be a little bit more sore. So I'm coming up to 10 minutes now, and 5 seconds to go. And right, that's 10 minutes now, 2.3 miles. Divide the 2.3 by 2, you're looking at roughly, say 1.2 to add on. So I'm on course for 3.5 miles again, 15 minutes. It's just clicked over to 2.4 now at 10:15. 10 minutes 15 seconds. Just going up a hill now, 3% incline. So I'm going to go down a gear just to help me through. I'm not really at that fitness stage where I can power through these all the time. I need to try and do a longer time rather than trying to force myself too much and get too tired. Right, I've done 3 miles, it's 13.5 minutes. So I'm on course for 3.5 miles again. And going by the way I feel at the moment, I think I'm going to try for 20 minutes, which 5 minutes added on to 15. So a lot of people training out there sort of thinking, well, it's only 5 minutes. But when you're trying to get fit again with arthritis and you've been off the bike for such a long time, and when you're 58 years old, you have to be careful, you've got to take it easy and not force your body where you can't get back on the training bike again tomorrow to go again. Leave enough in the tank that you're also not putting yourself off training. Make sure that you manage yourself properly, manage your workload properly. I'm not an athlete, I'm not going to be in the Olympics. It's my own personal game, no one else needs to know, unless I'm doing videos like this obviously. So let's see where we are at 15 minutes. This is going to be less than 3.5 miles. Going up an incline again, so I'm going to go up a gear, up a cog, just to ease off a little bit. Right, so that's 15 minutes, that's 3.3 miles. So I'm going to go for another 5 minutes now, so this will be 5 minutes more than I've done before so far, back in training. So let's see how we get on. 4.4 miles at 20 minutes. So I'm quite happy with that. Let me just save that. Save that straight to Strava, which is a great little tool to have on Zwift. So I don't need to mess around. So there's a message, saved up to Strava. And I'm just going to do a very easy 2 minutes of just nice gentle ride on the flat route again, just to cool down. And that's the 2 minutes cool down done. which I use Zwift still to do that on the flat route. Now if I end the ride, I'm not going to save it, I'm just going to bin it, because obviously it's just a cool down, so it won't be on your records. And that's the end of the second session. Until next time. Right, so week 1, session number 3, and I'm going to do 20 minutes again like I did last session. I'll put the iPad a little bit lower so you can see me a little bit better this time. So session 3, 20 minutes again, but this time using the flat route again. I'm going to try to up my cadence a little bit, so leg speed, in other words. Right, coming up to 3 minutes now. That's the warm up done. I'm in the second cog down, so I'm just going to go down another 2 cogs. So I put a bit more pressure on because I've warmed up, but also now I'm trying to up the cadence to trying to stay above 80 if I can, and hopefully that will affect the wattage, the power output as well. My heart rate is 105. So I realised very early on in my training sessions that whether it's running or cycling, to make sure I get my leg speed going quite early. The reason being that otherwise, if you take it too easy, you get too used to that. So I'm just increasing the leg speed early on. So session number 3, and I'm looking to get back into a better rhythm, so to speak. Right, so I'm 6 minutes in and I'm above 80 revs on a cadence. Heart rate's up to 115, so there is extra work rate. And if I remember rightly, in the 20 minutes I did in the last session, session number 2, I think I did 4 miles, 4.4 miles. So just through common sense, you think if I'm moving my legs quicker, then I should be able to go a little bit further. So let's see, when I have 7 minutes coming up to soon. So I've done 1.8 miles. So if you times that by, multiply that by 3, 3.60. Yeah, it looks like I should be doing over 5 miles here, just by using a quicker leg speed. So we're 7 minutes 15 in, just under 2 miles. So yeah, at the moment it looks like I will be doing more than 4.4, but we'll see. Right, coming up to 10 minutes, which is halfway through, and let's see how far we are at 10 minutes. So it's 2.6 miles, so looking at around about 5.1, 5.2, so that's going to be more. So definitely up the cadence, the leg speed on the bike, definitely more out of breath, you can hear. Heart rate is definitely higher, so that's at 120, 125, and the power output is more nearer 90 to 120 as well. So I've just gone through 15 minutes, so if you divide that by 3.9, that's 1.3 per 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes to go. 3.9 plus 1.3, looking at 5.2 miles, so still on track. So I'm keeping a constant cadence, constant work rate, but the whole effort, just looking at the graph, it's a lot more. And yeah, I'm enjoying it because it's more of what I should be doing compared to the first 2, where the stats were quite poor really, but like I said, you're just getting back into it. Right, so 19 minutes 15 seconds so far. For some reason on this flat route it took me to the King of the Mountain route, so I just got slowed down by a 12% gradient for a little while before I decided to turn back and get back to the flat route. So it slowed me down a little bit, but with 20 seconds to go I'm on 5.1 miles, so 5.2 should be achievable. Is what the target was. So let's see. Come up to 20 minutes, and it's 20 minutes now and it's 5.2 miles. So that's brilliant. So that's at least nearly a mile more in the same amount of time. So just to prove that it does work. Obviously it's not rocket science that you can go faster with your leg speed and go further, but I enjoyed that. That was very, very good. So I'm just going to do my 2-minute cool down now. It's Thursday, just before Easter now, so Good Friday tomorrow in the weekend and Bank Holiday Monday, and I'm looking to ride for the next 4 days as well, and I'm looking to do another 20 minutes tomorrow, maybe a bit easier, and it's on Saturday, Easter Saturday, I'm probably looking to do half an hour if I can. That's the end of session 3. Right, this is my 5th session. It's my first half-hour ride. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check in every 10 minutes. So 3-minute warm-up and then into the ride, and let's see what we can do. I did run about 5.2 miles in 20 minutes. So probably looking at just under 8 miles for half an hour, hopefully. So we'll see. I didn't record my last session, so just another 20-minute ride, fairly easy, almost like a recovery. I'll put the details up on the screen later on. But this is my first half an hour ride since getting back into training, so I feel pretty good. It's a chilly Sunday, Easter Sunday morning. Been a bit misty, which is just clearing up. But I feel pretty good. Just a 3-minute warm up done. Now I'm going to go down to the 4th cog that I normally do. Just the main one I settle on. So coming up to 10 minutes now. 9 minutes 50. And it's interesting because it's 10 minutes now and I've done just over 2.6 miles. If you multiply that by 3, it comes to around about 8. So I'm on target for 8 miles, which is pretty good for the first half hour that I've done since coming back into training. I still feel pretty good. Keeping up a cadence of just above 80 so far. My heart rate's steady around about 125. So feeling good. Let's see how we get on. So coming up to 15 minutes soon. 14 and a half. And I should get to 4 miles, but it's not going to quite happen. 3.7, 5 seconds to go. So just under 3.8 miles at halfway stage, so that's 7.6. And one of the reasons for that is that Zwift is very good at giving you an incline every now and then, which obviously is going to slow me down. But also different surfaces to ride on. So for instance, if I'm by water, there may be a boardwalk. So Zwift will slow you down in terms of riding across wooden boards, and also gravel paths and roads. It will slow you down a lot. So at the moment I'm on tarmac going on a 1% incline. I'm doing 15 miles per hour. I'd normally be around about 17 on a flat part, but on gravel it goes down to 12. So that's one of the reasons I haven't hit my mark in 4 minutes. 4 miles, sorry, after 15 minutes. But hopefully the declines will make up for it, where I may be able to go 25, maybe 30 miles per hour and make up for lost time. Zwift is very good at that as well. So coming up to 16.5 minutes gone, just over 4 miles. So let's see if I can catch up and get closer to the 8. At the moment though, 7.6 is the predicted time. Coming up to 20 minutes now. And it's 20 minutes now, and it's 5.2 miles. Divide that by 2.6, add that onto 5.1, looking at 7.7. So I made up a little bit of ground, but still under 8 minutes, but still consistent though. Heart rate now is 131, as I'm pushing it a bit more, trying to make up for that lost time. And cadence is more between 85 and 90 as I go up a 6% incline. And you can see how this trainer really does react well. This Think Rider X5 is really good. Seamless in its reactions to Zwift through the Bluetooth connection, and straight away into an incline. What I saw on the screen is what I felt in my legs. So pushing up 5.5% and not dropping down gears this time, or going up gears. I'm staying in my 4th cog to just get some extra strength into my legs, to see just how fit I am, and quite pleased with that as we now flatten off and start to go downhill. What I may do as I go downhill now is just go up a couple of gears and really push it and get that speed up, which is at the moment 13. Let's see if I can get closer to 25. Going down a 4% incline, I'll drop down another gear, 25 miles an hour. Hopefully that'll help me make up time. 27, 28 miles an hour. Yeah, so that was good. Going up an incline now, so back to my preferred settings, and 8 minutes to go. Let's see how we get on. I feel pretty good still though, but it's definitely harder work, which is what you expect, which is what you need to get fitter as well. Right, coming up to 29 minutes gone. I thought I was going to do 7.6, 7.7, but I'm currently on 7.9, so it looks like I'm going to break the 8 mile barrier. Really pushed it in the last 5 minutes or so to try to catch up. It looks like I'm going to comfortably, there's 8 miles now, 29 minutes 15. So comfortably beaten the 8 mile barrier, so that's excellent. Right, apologies about that. Just as I got into my final minute, I had forgotten that Canon's this particular camera has a 30-minute record limit. So I'm just doing my cool down now. What I was saying was, in that final minute when I was really pushing it, was I reached 8.2 miles. I thought it was going to be 7.6, 7.7, but with a minute to go I was in 7.9 and I managed to get to 8.2. So I'm just doing my 2-minute cool down now. Just went over to the camera, switched it back on again just to do the final piece. It's my 5th session of the week. Really pleased. I've done a half hour and I'm over 8 miles now. And although I pushed it, especially in that last 5 or 7 minutes, I feel really good. So yeah, the first week's been good. So the second week will start tomorrow, and then I'm away on a football tour 3 days. So tomorrow Monday will be the last session before I come back for Friday morning. That'll be the one after that. So week 2 begins tomorrow. But really pleased with that, 8.2 miles in half an hour. That's going to be hard to beat actually.